Hello, Noble people. My name is Noble, and today this is going to be my spoiler-free review on the FNAF 2 movie. This is past me, or technically this is always past me because I'm making the video, but whatever. I have not seen the movie as you're hearing my voice right now, but I kind of wanted to talk about stuff. A lot of people obviously are going to be apprehensive when you see, oh, critics are giving this, 15% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. No, the critics are stupid. The fans think this is amazing. So don't get distracted by this or whatever. Go in with a really, obviously this is going to be different. As a matter of fact, Johnny Blocks, I respect him a lot. He does a lot of FNAF news, but he's also very truthful and objective. He did not care for a lot of aspects of the first movie. He enjoyed it as just a normal, like a FNAF movie. He's happy it got made, but it was not the best. He agreed that it wasn't scary enough. He had major problems with the kind of tonal whiplash the movie had, which I don't agree with fully, but I understand where he's coming from, where in one scene, the animatronics kill the people who break in, and then the next scene, they're immediately building a fort with Abby. He didn't like that tonal whiplash, and he actually doesn't consider the first one a horror movie at all because he doesn't think there's actually anything of substance that would be necessarily fully scary. Which, you know what? That's perfectly fair. But he got to see this movie early, and he actually rated it very high. He did give constructive criticism with some plot holes. He thought the movie felt too fast at times because apparently it's constant action. If you want to fully see his full review, I recommend you go and watch that. Before I get into my actual review, I do want to preface some stuff that I am a little apprehensive about the movie first. I'm a little apprehensive with how they're going to kind of tie this in to the already pre-established lore and possible new lore. Because apparently there's new lore that they have made. I'm a little apprehensive when it comes to new lore. Scott said multiple times he always leans sci-fi, and I hope they don't. I'm going to be honest, I don't want them to introduce too many sci-fi stuff yet, especially, we don't need the Mimic to appear or whatever. So I'm a little scared for the story, but according to what everyone says, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm not too scared about that. However, I'm a little wary about the ending and the voices. This particular voice is obviously Megan Fox. I don't know how well she'll do as Toy Chica, especially given her previous voice acting role of Mortal Kombat 1. I'm a very scary about that. However, according to sources, she took this role because her kids like FNAF, so she might have actually done a really good job, and according to some people, she did do a really decent job. Like, you could not tell that it was Megan Fox, but at the same time, if you couldn't tell it was Megan Fox, you probably could have done a different person, but that's just me. And the other thing that I'm a little scared about is people are saying the ending is kind of like the power of friendship, which, okay, that might be a little bit weird, but at the same time, the animatronics are kids. So them trying to come together and resolve that makes sense. I feel like the ending of the first movie was really good because all the animatronics attack Afton and he gets spring-like. That's a really good movie. A really good ending of the movie. I'm not really sure how this ending will happen. I'm going to assume it's going to lead into FNAF 3 and we'll see Springtrap or something. And if they do not have "It's Been So Long" by Living Tombstone in the credits scene, I will be so mad. And apparently there's also two post-credit scenes. There's a mid one and an end one. So if you are going to see that stuff, make sure you wait for the entire thing because there are two post-credit scenes. But that is all from past me. Take it away, future me, who has seen it, and give your spoiler-free review. I really enjoyed the time and experience of going to see it, especially actually seeing it with my brother, who was able to react to stuff with me. It was kind of be weird if it was just me in a theater alone, because we actually went and saw it decently early, so we didn't have to deal with a bunch of people in the theater being really crowded. I've learned from the FNAF movie you don't want to be in a crowded theater when people are reacting to stuff. And I think this movie is really good if you are a FNAF fan. I personally, as just talking about all the aspects of how much I like this as a FNAF movie, FNAF 2 movie, a sequel to the first one, I would rate this a 9 out of 10 or like an 8.5 out of 10. And this is also going by the rubric of 5 out of 10 being the middle of the road. 5 out of 10 is the middle of the road. I hate when people say 5 out of 10 is a bad score. 5 out of 10 is the middle of the road. However, as an actual movie standalone, obviously critics are going to flame this. Critics are always going to flame this. They hated the first one, and they're probably going to hate this one. But I feel like this one is even more so for the fans. They took in the feedback, the horror aspect cranked up. I think there's actually some genuine moments that were really unsettling. The new lore stuff that I was worried about, I think the new lore stuff that they did with the puppet is super cool, and I really like that. The voices for the animatronics, all good. Megan Fox, Matt Pat, Kellen Goff, they all do amazing jobs with this. However, that ending that I was a little bit scared of, where it was the power of friendship, yeah, that was really bad to the point of I kind of feel like it kind of sours a little bit of the experience for the movie. I'm going to be completely honest with that. The first half of the movie, like the dream sequences with like Vanessa and stuff, I guess I said spoiler free, but there are dream sequences. Those were all really cool. The like office segments where Mike's like defending the Wizards, you see that in the trailers. All of those are good, and I love all of like those little flashbacks. I love some of the tiny details, but I do not like the ending in the slightest. It is so much like the power of friendship like came to save the day. It felt like they were building to like a big climactic finish, and it just kind of stops suddenly. And it stops so suddenly, this movie ends on a cliffhanger. To the point of it is that this movie kind of feels like its entire purpose was preparing you for the FNAF 3 movie, which they did set up in the mid-credit scene and the last credit scene, or credit voice, because it's not really a scene. And while I'm not mad about that as a FNAF fan, as someone who, like my brother, he agreed that that was bad, and I can 100% tell you that, like, some of my friends who are going to watch this, I already texted one of my friends and said it was good. He already is like, I know you're lying. I'm not lying. I enjoyed it as a FNAF fan, but there are definitely insane plot holes and stuff that I don't think they just did that well. That ending is really, really bad, and in my spoiler review that I will make probably at the end of this week, I don't want to fully dive into it just yet. I want to give it this time to soak, maybe wait for it. I might maybe see it with my friends again, or go with my family and we'll see it again or something. I need to try to soak in all the stuff I've had. I've had a couple hours to rethink everything, and while I do enjoy this movie as a fan, I can say 100% confident, if you're coming through to watch this movie and you're not a FNAF fan, this is not the movie for you. The first one is. The first one, I feel like, does a better job of being a movie and also catering to fans. I think it has that perfect mix. The second movie feels like it's more towards fans, which I don't know if I prefer. I think it's good to always cater to fans. You don't want to end up like have something that the fans, like the Minecraft movie, that was not for the fans. I'm sorry, but even if you're a fan of Minecraft, that was a really bad movie. Just like Jack Black naming stuff from Minecraft. It was not an actual good movie, but you can get an ironic enjoyment off of it. I got an enjoyment because this is a FNAF movie and there were actually good FNAF stuff and they actually tried. But some of the actual storytelling, some of the dialogue, oh my gosh, some of the dialogue between Mike and Vanessa gets a little bit irritating. The kind of like end climax, like conflict between Mike and Vanessa is weird. There's so much stuff that I want to talk about in my spoiler review, but if you want to leave with talking about how I feel about this movie as a FNAF fan, around an 8.5 out of 10. As an actual normal movie, I would only give this like a 6 out of like a 5 is 6, and that is going on the aspect of 5 is the middle of the road. I think this is like like just like a very bland, kind of confusing movie if you don't like FNAF or don't know too much stuff of FNAF. But as a fan, I am very happy with what we got. Thank you so much for watching. Stay noble. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.